Can everybody hear me out there? Can you hear me? GT, are you with me? Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me clearly. If y'all can hear me clearly, just so y'all hear me. If y'all niggas fear me, just so y'all fear me. Fuck all these fairy tales. Okay. Coming on crazy, giving me all sorts of intros, outros. What's up, trees? Please like the stream as you come into the room. Help send it out through the algorithm. We do a lot of work, a lot of research here to give you guys, the best and most exclusive information. So we're going to talk about this real quick. We got a lot of things to talk about, mainly niggers. And we're going to talk about this real quick because I just saw it. Somebody just sent it to me, I think, late last night. But we'll talk about it now. Early, I'm going to change my title and then I'll include it in the title. But let's see here. And here's my title. Let's edit this title. Hold on. What's everybody up to out there, man? We got to talk about this first. Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj. Now, I wonder if Tasha K has ran this story past Nicki Minaj. Because as we all know, Nicki Minaj and Foxy Brown are close. Right? But now Tasha K has somebody on her stream and he's out here saying that Foxy Brown can't be trusted. Also saying that, alleging that Foxy Brown got money from Nicki Minaj. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? What's going on? Can you hear me? What's up? My internet's working fine. Hello, I'm looking at my screen. Can y'all hear me or no? Hello, hello. Okay, y'all not saying nothing. I'm saying I saw somebody said I heard you. Now I can't. And then I'm asking, is anybody hearing me? And nobody's saying anything. Right? I need y'all to tell me whether you can hear me or not. So I'm gonna have to go on YouTube because so my moderators that are out there and all my people watching and listening, I can't really hear it, right? So I need y'all to tell me whether y'all can hear me or not, because somebody had said I can't hear you in the chat, right? Let me try to go to my thing here because I can't hear myself either, right? Hello, Mary. Mary, can you hear me? Mary Morgan. Can Mary Morgan hear me? Okay. Now, RT Boss sat down with Tasha K for an interview, and he is claiming that Foxy Brown is not detailed spice all of Nicki Minaj's business. So let's see here. Tells them all of Nicki Minaj's business. So this is what they're alleging. So let's find out. Let's take a listen to what Tasha K and this what is this person's name? Gonna share the screen. Okay. Let's hear what they're saying. Allegedly, Foxy. Well, that's not good. Come on, man. Hmm. I don't know why Twitter is acting up today. All right, so I'm gonna try to find a better copy of this because I don't know what's going on with the spiraling and the buff. It pisses me off, right? It pisses me off. So was y'all able to hear this fool?
I sweat a lot. Game changer for me. Those tough workouts and
Okay. So now, was y'all able to hear what that person said? Okay. Now, was y'all able to hear this dude? All right, all right, all right. We got it. We got it. So this is this RT ball or whatever. Was y'all able to hear that? No? Okay. I don't know what they did over here with this new shit. I don't know what my brother got going on over here on the side. Them old scene and all that other stuff. Like, I don't need all that. I don't know. You should have been able to see it on the you should have been able to see it on the screen, right? Because I shared the screen and they should have been able to see it. Why weren't able to see it? Okay. So let's go back to this because I gotta get into this, right? RT Boss. I guess he's supposed to be like spiritual king Prophet Smith. He's supposed to be like some sort of celebrity prophet or something, right?
Also, Foxy Brown, tell Spice all the Nicki Minaj business. Foxy Brown borrowed $10,000 from Nicki Minaj to pay some bill, and she's calling Spice saying that how comes Nicki Minaj keep asking for the $10,000 where she give her? So Foxy Brown and Spice it is. I am the advisor. I know everything.
So was y'all
Also,
able to hear that?
Foxy Brown tell
that. So y'all heard that, right? So now here's this person. I guess this is supposed to be like he's gonna find a niche and gonna say, "Oh, I know everything. I'm the advisor. I know everything." So now that's what's gonna start his little niche, I guess. Right? Now, the whole Nicki Minaj Foxy Brown dynamic. So ever since they were, of course, they got the whole Trinidadian thing working, right? They're both Trini, the second and third. But Foxy Brown, to me, now I don't know, of course, Bob's the head that Bob's end up getting is for whatever reason, they just want Nicki Minaj to have allies, right? So the first person that shows Nicki Minaj love, they're gonna gravitate to him. Like, oh, Foxy showed us some love. Oh yeah, but you think we can get a collab? Oh, this, that, another, right? Every time somebody shows Nicki Minaj love, they did it with Sabrina Carpenter, they do it with Taylor Swift. Like every time somebody shows Nicki Minaj love, the Barbs go run and talk about, oh, collab, right? From day one, I never took this dynamic serious. I still don't, because it seems very one-sided. Foxy Brown always came across to me as somebody that felt as though she can use Nicki Minaj. Whether it's use her to get back in the game, use her for people to post, or in this case, whether it's true or not, I don't know, but maybe ask her for some funds or what have you. Now, mind you, a lot of people probably didn't really peep this. But mind you, remember recently, like last year, and y'all put a 1 in the chat you can hear. I want to make sure y'all hear me on this. I make sure I'm not breaking up. I want to make sure everybody can hear me. So can you hear what I'm saying right now? There's some good stuff. Y'all don't want to miss it. Can you hear me? Big T, are you with me? Okay. So, and you're not gonna get this from anywhere else. Like all of the exclusive stuff, all the truthful behind the scenes stuff, y'all need to come to me or in case you didn't know, whatever. But if you noticed, remember last year when Nicki was going at it with Rock Nation, right? And then people started putting Foxy Brown into it. And Nicki was like, oh, yeah, Rihanna, Foxy, who's next, right? Well, Foxy Brown didn't come out and say anything. But then when someone else, when Tisa Tells brought it up, she was like, oh, if y'all think I'm going to turn on Jay, you crazy. And those lies, y'all telling lies, etc. However, Nicki made that same notion. She was like, oh, JG. No, she didn't say JG. She said Rihanna, Aaliyah, Foxy, who's next? So she obviously was talking about Jay-Z. But Foxy Brown didn't stand up and like, yeah, girl, this, that, and the other. Oh, I'm going to tell my truth, yada, yada, yada. Every single chance she gets, she says her and Jay-Z, Jay-Z never did anything to her. Right? For Foxy Brown. Oh, because I'm going over this what's her name? Thing that Tasha K is talking about. Right? I meant to put a question mark, but I think I just ran out of room. Pam. So my thing is, I always looked at this dynamic as one-sided. I'm like, Foxy, even for years, like when she came back, Nicki threw her on a record where Nicki was clearly at this point in time in her prime. Foxy's past her prime. Like I think it was the Queen album. And it's kind of like she was just putting her on there to kind of like, I don't know, feel sorry for her or what have you. But, Foxy Brown at this point in time has no business on a record with Nicki Minaj. None. And I always came across as, and Foxy, ever since the beginning that she came into the game, she's always been known as Two-Face, right? She's always been known as a shady type of chick, like, oh, she's rocking with you 1 minute. She's rocking with Mary J. Blige on the set of Touch Me, Tease Me. Then when the set is over, then she's talking crap about Mary J. Blige and well, with Case. And then, she's always came across like that. Eve, same situation with Eve. When Eve came in the game, anything you want, anything you ask me, anything you ask for, let me know. And then in Chicago, she's trying to shut down Eve's show, right? So Foxy's always came across when she was in the game, she never, ever, ever came across as authentic, right? Oh, she's from Brooklyn, and where they from the gutter, and then it turns out she's from Park Slopes. Yeah, Park Slopes is Brooklyn, but that's where all the white folks live. Like Park Slopes is like a good part of Brooklyn. But when she was talking like, oh, she's from the gutter, so she's always came across as good as she is. And Foxy, to me, is one of my 5 favorite female rappers ever in history. So I loved Foxy as an artist. But she always came across, and it was always talks about her just not really being very authentic, right? Very genuine. So even though I can't confirm this to be true, because it is on Tasha K, for Christ's sakes, it would not surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. And so, again, I don't know whether she borrowed $10,000 from Nicki Minaj. According to what I've always heard, Foxy was good, right? So, but would it surprise me that she asked Nicki Minaj for $10,000 and Nicki Minaj gave it to her? No, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Would it surprise me that Foxy Brown was talking smack behind Nicki Minaj's back? Knowing Foxy Brown, the Foxy Brown that I know, what the little bit that I know of her, and had interaction with her and her brothers and people that's hung around Foxy and people that's been in beef with Foxy. I had a long conversation about Foxy Brown a couple of years ago with Charlie Baltimore, like almost 2 hours. Basically running down everything Foxy was doing in the industry back then when she had a little bit of pull. So, and Charlie has always been, I've always had a good relationship with Charlie, and she's never been known to be a liar, right? So, would it shock me that Foxy Brown was talking smack about it? It wouldn't shock me at all. It wouldn't shock me at all, because that relationship to me has always seemed to one side. It always seemed like Foxy was more into it to get what she can get. And nothing proved to me more than the whole Jay-Z situation. While you allowed, when you allow Nicki to say, that about who's next, it's not like you jumped in and said anything there, or you didn't jump in and encourage it. You didn't jump in and stop it. But what you did do is go on other platforms, and then other people that was saying it, you were like, oh, that's a lie. Oh, if you think I'm going to turn against Jay, you crazy. It's another. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Nicki just said that, and you didn't say that over there. You just kept quiet. So you're basically answering, if you're saying, if y'all waiting for me to turn against Jay, then you crazy, and this all lies. Remember, she told Tisa Tells, it's all lies. I'm going to start suing folks or whatever. Well, wait a minute. Your homegirl just said it. Your homegirl just said it, and you didn't jump in and confirm it or deny it, right? But your homegirl just said it. So now when other people start saying it, how can you say, oh, they're lying, they're reaching, they're this, they're that? But your homegirl just made the same comment. So are you telling her, once again with the shadiness, are you telling her one thing and telling the world something different? Because Nicki said that with confidence, like, oh, Aaliyah, Rihanna, Foxy. Now, her and Foxy are cool, right? Who's next? She said that like she had inside information about her messing with Jay-Z. Right? And then Foxy Brown, to this day, still, she tried to use that moment from Nicki mentioning her. Then she started saying, oh, yeah, when I tell my story, it's going to be epic. And this, that, and third. And then what happens? The week passes by, somebody says something about her, and she starts laughing and says, oh, if you think I'm turning on Jay. But you was straight gaslighting, trying to make us believe that you writing a book or you gonna tell your truth or what have you about Jay-Z. Now, Tasha K swears that she is cool with Nicki Minaj. That's my colleague, right? So it'll be interesting to know whether she brought this up to Nicki Minaj or not. I've never seen this dude before. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know how all of a sudden he's the ambassador or whatever he called himself. Has anyone seen this dude before? Let me know in the chat comments. This is the first I've ever heard or seen of this dude. And you know it's Tasha K, so God only knows whether you can trust him or not. But since it's coming from Tasha K, can I trust it? No, you can't really trust it because it's Tasha K. But the only reason why it caught my eye is because of who she mentioned. And if Foxy Brown is anything like she used to be, a lot of that's the reason why you never really see people in the industry. You see how they got so much love for Lil' Kim, and when you talk about the greats, hardly anyone mentions Foxy Brown. Like you never really see the peers mentioning Foxy Brown because they had the kind of dislike for Foxy Brown that they have for Nicki Minaj. However, Nicki Minaj's greatness is so overwhelming. Even if you don't like her as a person, they're like you're not gonna be able to be able to say she wasn't that good or she wasn't that impactful, because her impact and how good she is and how relevant she still is does not allow you to say that. Like, you know, you may say, oh, I don't like her as a person, I don't like her personality. But with Foxy Brown, they use that dislike to kind of discredit her. See, you can't, Nicki's talent is so overwhelming, you can't discredit her whether you like her or not. But Foxy Brown, they use the vitriol that they have for her, and then they help use that to discredit her as a rapper. Like I said, she's one of my 5 favorite female rappers ever. But the industry does not look at her like that, right? So we'll see. I'll see if anything becomes of that. But Foxy Brown, like I said, it wouldn't put it past me for 1 minute. And someone said, Pam said, so Nicki's god mom. Yeah, okay. Foxy Brown has turned on people who's done way more for her than be her godmom. You know, Foxy Brown, brother's girlfriend, when she was having the hearing issues, was help fit her bills, and Foxy turned on her. So I understand that she's her godmom, but how close is Nicki Minaj to Foxy Brown? Like, come on, how close are they really? So yeah, she's her godmom. I don't put anything past Foxy Brown. If she's still the same Foxy Brown. Now, maybe growing older, maybe she changed. Who knows? But if she was an adult at this time, if she's somewhat the same, I don't put anything past her. Can I confirm this to be true? As of right now, no. And it is coming from Tasha K. She's not a very reliable source. However, the reason why I don't totally discard it is only because she says Foxy Brown. And Foxy Brown's been known to act like that. She's been known to talk about people behind their back. She did it with Diddy. She used to roll tight with Diddy, right? She was rolling tight with Diddy for years. And then, she's like, no Diddy and stuff. How can you say no Diddy when you rolled tight with Diddy for many, many, many years? So we're going to keep trying to see if anything comes out of it, right? Now, and I could totally see Nicki loaning her money. Totally see it. All right. All right, let's get to it. I have to find this video. And we're going to discuss the Cassie situation with Puff. They are back in court today. Right? They're back in court today. And what he's trying to do, I don't know. Diddy, man, he certainly does need ASAP Rocky's lawyer. He tried to get him because this shit here, what he's trying to put, I don't understand what move they're trying to make. But I guess at this point, it's desperation. Hold on. So, Diddy now, if this ever happened, hold on, spelled it wrong. If this ever happened, right, then I will start entertaining the conspiracy theories that there's other people out there trying to protect Diddy still. Because he is trying to get the Cassie tapes thrown out where they cannot be used in court. Now, I will tell you why he's trying to do this and how he's trying to do this. Now, of course, Cassie's lawyer has already come out and debunked anything Diddy said about these tapes. But he's trying to get the tape thrown out. He knows that is the prosecution's main meat. That's their main piece of meat, that video. Now, even though he is not being charged for that video is a big piece of the prosecution showing his evil side and his anger side, right? Rocky's lawyer was like, nope. Yeah, Rocky's lawyer didn't want nothing to do with that. So, Joe Tapioca Pudding didn't want nothing to do with it. But, so what's happening is Diddy is trying to get these tapes thrown out because he's saying that CNN doctored and edited doctored and edited the first version. He said, oh, it didn't take place at that speed. They sped it up. He sped it up to make it look worse than what it was. So, in other words, Puffy, you wasn't beating her ass as fast, that fast in real life. Oh, you can't make this shit up. So Puffy says, I guess his lawyers, they said that he was not beating her as fast as the tape let on. Oh man, I hate to laugh at that because it's not funny, but it is funny, right? But they not pursuing charges, so why have it in court anyway? Because Mimi, they are allowing stuff to take place, and that's a good question, and I will answer that for you. Even people who are looking at this case from the outside looking in, they're saying that this prosecution and this judge in court, they're allowing a lot of things to happen to Diddy that they was not allowing other people. Number one, the bail. So many other people have gotten out with way less money. The Abercrombie and Fitz dude who had trafficking charges internationally, they let him bail out. Other people that had the same type of charges, they let them bail out. But they won't allow Diddy to bail out, and he's offered $50 million. He's put up his plane, his house, and his mama's house. He said his kids will turn in all their passports. His mama will turn in her passport for bail. They turned him down. They said no. They won't even accept $50 million from Diddy when they're accepting $1 million from other people. So they want to make it so people believe, oh no, he's going to try to tamper with. So you must tell me out on bail, you think he's going to try to tamper witnesses out on bail? The moment that one thing gets reported, he's back in jail for God knows how long. Right? So Diddy, the whole thing with they weren't harassing witnesses. Here's the thing. When Diddy had what they're talking about with that, when Diddy spoke to what's her name? The not day 26. The girl from damn, what's that group's name? She wasn't yet a witness yet. So when they're saying, oh, he called her 60 times and this, that, and the third, she was not yet a witness. Right? He got that after he got Dawn, what's her name's lawsuit. He called her up on the phone. She was not yet a witness yet. So they would have to, first thing they have to do is people who were considered witnesses, they would have to have proof that he, what's the word? He tampered with them. So, I mean, you can't tamper. They can't call it witness tampering. This is one thing that his attorneys brought up. You can't call it witness tampering if this person later on becomes a witness. But at the time that he spoke to them, they were not yet a witness. So how is it witness tampering? That's like Diddy calling me up and saying, yeah, if they call you, make sure you say it was this, that, and the third, right? Make sure that, you don't say nothing. It was consensual, right? He's telling me that, and I'm not even a witness yet. Then I become a witness. They find out that Diddy called me, and then they're saying, "Oh, witness tampering." You can't do that, because when he called the person, they weren't yet a witness, right? So they're adding all these things to try to make it impossible, and this is why I believe they're doing that. I believe that their whole entire case hinges on this Cassie video, because that's what everyone's seeing. And believe it or not, a lot of people think that he is in jail for the video, because whenever you talk to people about Diddy, what's the first thing they say? All I had to do was see that video. Oh, he's on video dragging Cassie. Yeah, but he's not in jail for the video. But a lot of people don't look beyond the surface, and they think that that video is why he's locked up, right? So, according to his lawyers, CNN has lost the original copy of this tape. Now, I know people have said, it don't matter, it's all over the internet. Yeah, but that's not admissible in court. They rarely allow video footage that don't have anything to do with the case. They rarely allow that in court, but it looks as though for Diddy, they were going to allow it. So now they're trying to say, well, if it's not the original version, you can't use some version of the internet because it's doctored. So what they were trying to say, what he's saying is, all of those versions on the internet came from the copy of CNN. And what we want to do is get the original CNN copy and play it to you, where you can see that this is not as bad as it looks. Well, I don't know whether they're going to discuss that in court today, but that's one of the things he's bringing up. Now, Diddy's lawyer, since he changed and he's got Nessie or Essie, whatever her name is, Gallegos, she's been very adamant on no tapes. The prosecution is a fiction, right? They're doing Diddy dirty. So it's like, remember the guy that quit, right? Remember the guy that quit? And then I remember I was saying before, I said, Diddy must have listened to me, because I said he needs to go get a woman lawyer, right? So here it is. Hold on. Let's take a look at what TMZ said. So I'm using this under fair use, right? I'm using this under fair use. Come on now. Let's see if this will play. Doesn't seem like it's playing. For whatever reason, they keep going back to this. Hold on. So they're going to explain to you. They're going to explain to you what this whole thing about Diddy and he wants this shit escaped. I mean, he wants to go. So here's the thing with the no minors. Diddy's tripping. Why does it keep coming to this? Like, hold on. You know what? I'll get it from here. Let's see if I can play it from here. Because I wanted you to hear, leading up to this, how the reason why I'm playing it is how aggressive Diddy's lawyers have been. This new lawyer, right? She's been very aggressive since coming on, and way more aggressive to the point where I think Diddy should just allow this woman to do his case. And this Mark Agnafalio, whatever his name is, this dude sucks. This dude sucks. Months ago. Okay. "11 days ago, Outlands Noise declared Diddy on trial, blah, blah, blah." No minors, no tapes. All right, here we go. So check this out. We're going to use this for fair use from TMZ. What's up, Couture? Hold on.
Hey guys, Grant Cardone here. For the last 10 years, I've been running what is today's largest, most successful business conference.
We're going to get
on
into
the planet.
Jaguar in a minute.
The attorneys represent.
So this is Diddy's new lead attorney.
Involving freak-offs. Right. Well, we have heard allegations about other celebrities connected to Diddy. But the people on Diddy's side say, we're getting things all mixed up here. And she blames the media. Right. She being Teyana Garagos, who is one of the attorneys representing Diddy in the federal indictment, in the criminal case against him. And she sat down with Harvey and Mark Garagos for their Two Angry Men podcast. Yes, Teyana is Mark's daughter. But this is the questioning. You got into talking about what Diddy's defense was going to be.
I got to tell you, before we asked a single question, this is what she wanted to say.
I think that the public and the media have gotten nearly every fact wrong about what the prosecution's case is here. So I just want to take one issue with that. You know, there's no minors, there's no celebrity sex tapes. You know, the civil lawsuits here are not driving the allegations that we're defending against, but it is driving the vitriol against him in the media.
This kind of created a life of its own, that they had seized videos of the freak-offs, and it kind of spun into who's on those tapes. And Hollywood became unusually silent.
I think there's one huge reason, and that's Tony Busby. Right after the indictment, he came out with a press conference with a 1-800 number behind him, threatening lawsuits against our client without having filed any. And we saw exactly how it played out, and we saw exactly why Hollywood went quiet.
And what she's referring to, part of why Hollywood went quiet, is we now know that Tony Busby sent demand letters to several celebrities, most notably Jay-Z, who stood up to that and is actually now suing Tony Busby for extortion. Right.
Because the person who was suing him dropped it because of all the inconsistencies
Right.
in her case. Now, Tenny also said that they are going to be looking to file other defamation lawsuits. And she made that really clear, that it wasn't just going to be a one-off with Jay-Z.
Well, hold on, because Jay-Z is suing him, but she's not representing Jay-Z. She's saying that Diddy is going to file defamation lawsuits against some of the people
who are making allegations out of court. Now, Tony Busby, by the way, you just mentioned something. When we did one of our earlier Downfall of Diddy documentaries, we had Tony Busby on. And I asked him specifically, is the game here to go to high-profile people like a celebrity and say either settle or we're going to file a lawsuit which effectively will ruin your life and your career? And he kind of said that's the drill in civil litigation. So he was open about that. She does not abide.
So here's Tony Busby's name coming up again. So basically, as I said from day one, and I've never, ever, ever went off of what I said. I stood 10 toes down from day one saying there ain't no freak offs. Why did I say that? Because I read Cassie's lawsuit. Right? I read Cassie's lawsuit. Everybody went off on a tangent about these celebrity sex tapes that they took from the word freak offs, and then what they started doing was attaching every single Diddy party that you see on Google, and they started calling those freak offs. And because you saw so many celebrities there, this is why they said, oh, all these celebrities were at his freak offs. But if you read Cassie's lawsuit, she said these were private interludes with him and her, and he called them freak offs. Right? She never, in her lawsuit, she never mentioned another celebrity. She never mentioned a minor. She never mentioned anybody known. As jealous as Diddy was and possessive as he was over Cassie, do you really think he would? And on top of that, remember, this little freak off and this little, what's the word, cuck? This little cuck personality that he has, he was trying to hide that. So common sense will tell you, if he's been in the closet or if he tried to hide the fact that he's bisexual, right? Why would he let other celebrities know that he likes watching men smash his girl? He was trying to hide that from the celebrity world. That's the reason why he got strangers. That's the reason why she was picking men off of websites. He was like, oh yeah, I'm going to get Jay-Z to smash and I'm going to watch, or I'm going to go get Usher to smash and I'm allow him to smash, but you still going to be my girl afterwards. No, it wasn't doing that. That was a private thing between him and her. Remember, it just started out him and her, and then he suggested the escort workers, right? So I always knew there was no such thing as freak off tapes, because that's a business that I was in for 21 and a half years. And I'm sorry, everybody got their own mansions. They got their own freak stuff going on. They don't need to come to Diddy's house. They don't need to come to Diddy's house. Right, and Couture, they were already allegedly almost on the outs right before she filed that lawsuit. Because what happens is when you're Cassie, and she can pretend all she wants, but when you're Cassie and you're used to living a certain lifestyle, right? And remember, when she first broke up with Diddy, this guy still had his clients because he got his clients through Diddy. But then once Diddy called and started canceling his clients and saying, nah, don't work with him because he blah, blah, blah. I brought him in here, hired him, and he ended up having an affair with my girl or having a relationship with my girl, this, that, and the third. And if they're cool with Diddy and he says, don't F with him no more, they're not F with him no more. They don't know this dude from a can of paint. So he started losing his clients. But now, since she got that 20 million, 30 million, whatever the case she may got, he's straight now. They're straight. But I don't rule out down the line these two getting divorced. But she don't care. She got her money. Right? She got her money. So when you start talking about the tapes, these tapes are what this entire indictment was built on. If this tape goes out the window, which I personally don't think it will, but if it ever did, I don't think they're going to have a case to stand on. And wherein he may not walk totally, he definitely won't get no life sentence. If they can't use these tapes, if the judge says, nah, it's not admissible in court, that means, yeah, you can't unsee the tapes, but you cannot use these tapes to pass judgment. Then you're going to have to go on evidence. If the tape is not there, you're going to have to go on evidence. And it's going to have to be more than just he say, she say. Because right now, other than the Cassie tape, right, the lawyer has obviously been told what they have. Because remember, they don't have to give it up to the media what they have. But you have to let the defense know what you have. You have to. So if they had tapes, trust me, Puffy's lawyers know they got tapes. Just like how they knew about the freak offs, the 9 tapes from Cassie. They said, release those tapes. You got 9 tapes from Cassie, release them. So even though the public don't know what they have, if they have tapes of Diddy with minors or Diddy with other celebrities, trust me, they have to tell the defense what they have in order for the defense to properly, it's not like TV where they pop up like, aha, here's a surprise. Like, they don't do that anymore, right? If anybody shows up at court as a witness, trust me, the defense or the prosecution knows they're coming. So I don't know whether they should do that back in the day or did they just do that on movies. But, somebody come walking in the court unannounced and then the whole court goes, oh. Like that, that don't happen in real life. They don't allow that to happen. A surprise witness that just comes in and they're like, gotcha. They don't allow that to happen anymore. So these tapes that he wanted to release was the freak off tapes with him and Cassie, where he was saying that you could tell she wasn't drugged. You could tell she was going along with it, having a good time. I don't know how you're going to be able to tell she's having a good time, but this is what the attorney was saying. So I personally don't believe that they will get these tapes thrown out. However, if the judge decides that these tapes are not admissible, I'm telling you right now, he will not get a life sentence. He might get 5 years. They may say, oh, we're going to give him 5 years for forced prostitution, kidnapping, if they can prove drug trafficking, right? But they would have to get his drug mule to come forth and say, oh, yeah, every time I went there, he had me fly drugs to him or what have you. But all of that stuff, when you combine it with, oh, good behavior, time served, this time served, remember, he's going to get time served. He's been in jail, how long now? When did he get locked up? In May? June? Or maybe August? Maybe August he got locked up. Somewhere around there. But they're going to give him time served by the time, especially by the time the trial comes around. And I want to know, to me, and somebody made a comment, said they don't think that the case is very strong. Well, a lot of people have said that, right? Cassie better watch out, man. Yeah, a weapon charge the most, right? And they'll get them on the weapons. But this won't be a life sentence. They're banking on the Cassie testimony and the Cassie. Now, mind you, Cassie's pregnant, right? Cassie's pregnant. I'm not going to grant that as a guarantee that she testifies, because she may say reliving this whole thing is very traumatic, and at this point she's gonna probably be 6 or 7 months pregnant. So I'm not gonna rule out Cassie saying, "Listen, I made my statement. I'm not getting on the stand pregnant." Right? I can easily see her saying that. But they're really depending on her testimony, because they're going to try to use that to prove the trafficking and the prostitution, forced prostitution, and they're going to need one of the sex workers' testimony. That's for sure. They're going to need a sex worker to come forward and say they knew they were being flown out to have X. They would have to prove that. So it's going to be very interesting. I don't think that the tape is going to get thrown out, but I do agree with Couture. I do believe in who else said that? Mimi. I believe that the case isn't as strong as they make it. That's the reason why they had to go out with the salacious thing, with the baby oil. Could you please tell me to this day what baby oil has to do with any of this? And anyway, out of that, the baby oil is one of the main things when people, if people ask you, name 3 things you learned about the Diddy case, I guarantee you 99% of the people will say they found 1,000 bottles of the baby oil. Okay, so if they found 5,000 bottles of baby oil, what does that mean? He just likes a lot of lubricant? I mean, what does that really mean? But you see, they made it a big deal because nowadays people need the internet. That's the reason why Tory Lanez is in so much trouble now, because he felt as though he needs the internet to believe him. So they know that everybody's on the internet now. Let's throw out the 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Let's throw out, that there might be tapes of other people. Let's throw all that stuff out there. And people go crazy over that. They live for the fact, saying, oh man. And then on top of that, everybody ran down the conspiracy alley. Oh, so many people are on those tapes he's gonna give them up. He's gonna snitch, and then they're gonna Epstein him. Like, really? There's no one to snitch on, people. He's the top fish. There's no one to snitch on. You know, Clive Davis wasn't back there saying, okay, go do freak offs. Ain't nobody got to tell him to do freak offs, right? Patience. So, hold on. Yeah, I called you, but it's too late. The phone stopped ringing. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. I thought I had this on no call, damn it. They are paid to say that I'm convinced. Right. Again, somebody I did another show on my No BS channel, and I don't think that he's going to completely get off, right? I don't see him getting off 100%. But I can totally see if things break and this evidence isn't what they say, then I can easily see him not getting a life sentence, right? So we'll see. Now, this has been a big story this week, right? This has been a big story. Here's extra. Let me change my banner.
So you think you know Wix, but do you really? First up, we've got Shape Video Masks.
Alex
You can use
Spiral's
different
at it
shapes to
again.
create completely different vibes and aesthetics. Or you can create your own graphic. I use the shape composition here.
Her allegations, blackmail, insisted he wouldn't pay one red penny, and is now suing the woman who claimed that he sexually assaulted her for defamation. Today, a bomb.
Let me change it.
Show new audio tape between Jay-Z's accuser and private investigators could be the key piece of evidence in his case.
But Jay-Z you're saying he was definitely there, but he had no part in it, or he was just.
He was there. He was just there, but he didn't have anything to do with any sexual acts towards you. It was strictly, yeah.
Last December, the woman known only as Jane Doe claimed that Jay-Z and Diddy drugged and raped her when she was only 13 years old at an after party for the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards. Her attorney, Tony Busby, who also filed a slew of lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs.
You can't hide skeletons in the closet forever.
But just last month, that woman permanently withdrew her lawsuit. Now in the recordings obtained by ABC News, she's not just heard recanting her claims against Jay-Z. She also tells the PIs that her lawyer is the one who put her up to it.
He was the one that kind of pushed me towards going forward with him. With Jay-Z. Busby did? Yeah.
Do you know why?
No.
But Busby, calling that claim a blatant lie, sent ABC his own recording of a phone call with his client.
They say that they have you on tape denying that Jay-Z assaulted you. Is that true?
No. They don't. I've never said that.
Okay. They also
So that wasn't you, chick? You sound like the same girl from that interview.
Say that you told them, and they have it on tape, that I, Tony Busby, told you to like came up with this plan and told you to say that Jay-Z assaulted you so you would get more money.
No.
You said that, ma'am. We just heard you.
Questions about the woman's accusations against Jay-Z started flying just days after she filed the stunning.
Okay. So, all right. Let me touch on this. So, Jay-Z accuser exposed. Now, as we all know, the case is over, right? So she already dismissed this case with prejudice, meaning she cannot refile the lawsuit, right? All right, we get that part. So then people might ask, well, then why are they still going? Well, Jay-Z has a lawsuit against her and a lawsuit against Tony Busby. Now, Tony Busby has a lawsuit against Rock Nation, saying that Rock Nation was trying to bribe people to go sue Tony Busby, right? And Jay-Z still has the extortion lawsuit, the defamation lawsuit, and now a defamation lawsuit against this girl or this lady from Alabama. So that's why this is still going. Now, we sat and watched Alex do a PowerPoint for about an hour, and he broke down every single which way but loose of how this could have never happened. Not only did it not happen, but it was physically and chronologically impossible. Dealing with the time frame, dealing with the amount of time that she had, dealing with Jay-Z and Diddy being photographed at different venues that was far from the place that was already 20 minutes away, right? So based on all of that, based on Benji Madden not being there, based on Fred Durst not being there, based on them not having a Jumbotron, even though she said she watched it on a Jumbotron, all of those things amount to, chick, you probably wasn't even in New York. Like, you can't even prove that you were in New York because the girl that you said drove you is dead. So we can't even prove that you were in New York, sis. Right? So me, on the other hand, I think this is the first time that I have a problem with Alex. Right? This is where when you're winning the game in basketball, and then you get a slam dunk to put you up by 30, and then you hang on the rim, and the referee's like, technical foul, right? So I believe Alex right now is really just hanging on the rim because the case is dismissed, right? He's already suing Tony Busby, so that gives anybody that thought maybe Jay-Z paid him off, that lets you know right then and there he didn't pay him off because he wouldn't be suing him right now and slandering his name. So now you got the dismissal with prejudice and you got a lawsuit pending. Why did you need this? Why did you need this? Why did you need private investigators to go to her house because this is not the flex that Alex hoped it would be. And I'll tell you why. If you notice in that video, what did they ask her? They said, so Jay-Z was there, but he didn't do anything. And she said he was there, but he didn't have anything to do with sexual assault. No. All right. Alex just had a PowerPoint for an hour long showing every which way that the party never happened and this never happened. And Jay-Z was never at a house party. So now they say, so he was there, but he didn't do anything, right? And it's like they're accepting the fact that he was there, but didn't do anything. You just had a PowerPoint and told everybody how it never happened. You see what I'm saying? This is my issue with it. You didn't need it. Now you're just opening up the door for people to say, oh, but I thought it never happened. I thought he wasn't at the party. Now you're agreeing to him being there, but he just didn't do anything. Those private investigators, the moment that she said, yeah, he was there, I'd be like, prove he's there. He was never there, miss. He was never there, ma'am. You were never there. You got to prove that you were there first. Jay-Z was never there. So here's the thing with the Jane Doe thing, right? Jay-Z and Alex Spiro knows who she is. Alex Spiro knows who she is. Right. They're private investigators. They found out that's what private investigators do. But Jay-Z and Alex Spiro, they know what the public don't know. We don't know who she is. But Alex Spiro, when you're getting sued, you have a right to know who's suing you. Right? So Jay-Z and them, and if you notice, Jay-Z just requested that she's able to remain a Jane Doe. Right? And he really don't have to do that. But Jay-Z is saying, I want her to remain a Jane Doe. Because if she exposes herself, this could get us in trouble. And people could come after her, and then they're going to say that I was sending people. So I want her to remain a Jane Doe. The private investigator, like I said, like Couture said, that's really their job. Right? So I believe, yeah, after demanding her identity be revealed, yes, but I believe it's a chess move, right? After they said, no, he's not going to reveal the identity, I think Jay-Z and Alex Spiro, as smart as they are, said, you know what? Now that it's been dismissed, right? Now that it's been dismissed, now we're going to make ourselves look good by saying, you know what? We don't want her name revealed. We don't want her name revealed. Because push comes at the end of the day, they're going to be able to say, well, Jay-Z still asked for her to be anonymous. What I believe is going to end up happening is when it comes down to testifying, that's why I believe her and Tony Busby are going to throw each other under the bus. And I think Tony Busby is going to say at the end of the day, hey, I thought she was telling the truth. But I found out more and more information as time went on. And it comes to find out that she's not telling the truth. Because if she is telling the truth, right? If she said she never said that and she never recanted her story, all right, you're saying that you dropped the charges against Jay-Z because you was afraid for your life. Okay. Why did you drop the charges against Diddy? Diddy's in jail. And ain't nobody coming out there to Jay-Z's case. Diddy got enough cases. He can't worry about this one. So you dropped the entire lawsuit. I'll tell you what I think. I'll tell you what I think. I think Tony Busby knew that he was not going to be admitted into the Southern District of New York. He knew these he was supposed to apply by a certain time. He knew that these lawsuits would probably get dismissed. So what he did was, so he didn't have to get exposed, convince her that she was getting death threats and it's best that you drop the case. I believe he told her, because he's able to manipulate her. You can see the woman is easily manipulated. She says one thing to one person and says another thing to another person. I believe Tony Busby and his lawyers told her your life is being threatened. So it's probably best that you drop this lawsuit. Because she dropped it against Diddy as well. And that was her original lawsuit was against Diddy. Right? Her original lawsuit was against Diddy. But then you amended and added Jay-Z. Right? Which again, I'm an evidence guy. If she came and she had proof, if she had a video of her, of Jay-Z and Diddy going into a room, even if she cut it off before anything happened, if she is in a room and she got video, or there's a surveillance video of Diddy and Jay-Z going into a room and she has it, by all means, throw them under the jail. By all means. If you can prove it, if you got evidence that it happened, by all means, throw whoever it is, throw them under the jail. But if you come and make these salacious accusations, and they prove that it comes out that you did not have one fact, which is the case right now in this lawsuit, she doesn't have one factual thing except for the fact that Eminem performed, and anybody can tell you that. You can Google that. That's not a big deal. But the fact that you said you watched it on a Jumbotron and there was none. The fact that you said you spoke to lawyers, limo drivers, and they were blocked off, so there was no way you could have went to them and spoke to them. The fact that you said you spoke to Benji Madden, he wasn't in town. The fact that you said you saw Fred Durst there, and Fred Durst is photographed somewhere else at that time. The fact that you said Diddy and Jay-Z walked into the room, Diddy was another place, Jay-Z was another place. Diddy then left the same place Jay-Z was at and went to yet another place, and then was seen walking back to his townhouse with Jennifer Lopez at 3:30 in the morning. Now, by 3:30, this Jane Doe was already back at the gas station, the one that she said she called her father from. She had to be there around 1 o'clock if he was to get there by dawn. Plus, she would have had to give him the directions, the street, and everything of the deli or gas station she was at. So the time frame is like totally impossible, especially me being out there that night. That was the I can't get no satisfaction. That was the Britney Spears VMAs. I was at that show. And trust me, that's the most packed I've ever seen that Radio City area. I remember to get out of Radio City just to get to the Midtown Tunnel, it took me 45 minutes. To get from Radio City to the Midtown Tunnel that night, it took me 45 minutes. It was that packed. So there's no way she's going in and out of New York City in 10, 15, 20 minutes. It just wasn't happening that night. So nothing she said lined up. And the fact that nothing she said lined up, to me, it doesn't make sense to me for Alex to then go and air this, because I done seen 3 or 4 people already make the video saying, oh, well, you're exposing yourself now. So now he was at the party, but it's okay because he didn't do anything? No. You're supposed to say, stop right there. Let's clear this up. He was not at the party. Right now, there was no party, but go ahead. Right? I didn't like that whole thing. I don't think it played out well. I don't think it played out well. That's just me. Couture, I'm sure you covered the on your channel. I'm sure you covered the accuser. Am I overreacting here? Like that's what I've seen, and I've seen a couple of people already say, I thought he wasn't there. I thought he wasn't there. Oh, so now he was there? He just didn't do anything? But you just sat up here for an hour and told everybody how it's never happened. I know it was. I know it's impossible. I know that seems highly unlikely because it never happened. That's what he said for an hour. Showed us how it never happened. But now it happened. But Jay-Z just wasn't involved. I really don't think that's the flex that he was hoping it'd be. I believe she lied too. I don't believe that there was ever a party. But my point is, when she says, so Jay-Z was there, the private investigators, they obviously ain't up on this case because they would have seen the PowerPoint and they wouldn't even ask, so Jay-Z was there? No, he wasn't there because there was no party, man. There's no evidence that there was ever a party. None. Nobody has been able to come through with a venue that matched like that during that time, that day and age, on that date. Man, there's pictures for everything. There's pictures for stuff going back 2000. There's pictures for stuff going back to the 90s with time marches on it. So trust me, somebody would have took pictures at that party mingling with other stars. Somebody would have some pictures. Getty Images has pictures of everybody all night long, right? Why isn't there any pictures of that event? The other thing that I believe that Celebrity B was J-Lo, and we're interested to find out, did J-Lo get scared and give Tony Busby money? Because how come she never got mentioned? Why did Celebrity B never get mentioned? They said it was a woman, right? Now, did it never get mentioned because maybe this person likes J-Lo? Maybe this person didn't want to add a female name to it because they were scared they get caught lying. I don't really know what the reason is, but he did send out demand letters. And if he sent one out to J-Lo, who was going through enough at that time, I could truly see J-Lo saying, look, I'm already going through this. This movie flopped, this tour. I got people saying that I unalived a TikToker, that I'm not really from the Brock. Like, Jenny had a rough 2023, right? So I can clearly see her saying, I don't want no part of this. What do I have to do to keep my name out of this? Not knowing the details or anything. I could see her say that. Put a 1 in the chat if you think Jennifer Lopez got a demand letter and paid, or do you think Celebrity B, they just did not, because she was just making up that there was a Celebrity B and did not have anybody in mind. So put a 1 in the chat if you think that Celebrity B was J-Lo and she paid Tony Busby because she was scared. And put a 2 if you think that Jane Doe just made up Celebrity B and had no intention of naming anybody. See, because here's the thing. Here's the thing, Mimi. If they say 2000 VMAs party, right? She could immediately thinking, I was at a 2000 VMA party, right? Because if Tony Busby sends out a demand letter, remember, they don't really give information in that demand letter. Here's how the demand letter would look to J-Lo. On September 2nd or September 10th or whatever it was, 2000, you attended a VMA after party with Sean Puffy Combs, right? Now, the moment J-Lo reads that, she's going to be like, that is true. I was at a party with him. He's not going to go into it was at a house, blah, blah, blah. He's not going to do all that. He's going to give her as less information as possible, but let her know we saw you at a party in 2000 with Diddy. Well, guess what? Jane Doe is suing him, saying that she got assaulted at that party. Now, if you were with him, it don't matter whether you did anything or not. If you were with him and you didn't say anything and that went down, you're going to be exposed. Now, if you don't want this to go any further, I can mediate a parlay between you and my client, and this will never go any further than this room. And J-Lo got some money, and she may say, you know what? I don't even want to be bothered. I can't take this scandal right now. And no, I can't be bothered. So what do you want? Celebrities do that, right? Because if you're giving out at least information, no, you have to remember, Mimi, you have to remember, he said, if you were there, you can still be sued, even if you didn't do anything, even if you didn't participate in the freak-offs. If you were there and a freak-off took place, it don't matter whether you was involved or not, you're going to be sued and held liable. That's what he initially said in the beginning. So, how about this? Let's use this for instance, right? I was at the 2000 Video Awards, right? I know I was there. Let's say Tony Busby calls me up. That night, I didn't go to a Lotus after party. I went to an after party somewhere, but it wasn't Lotus, right? Say Tony Busby calls me up and says, yeah, I see you went to the China Club the year 2000, the Video Music Awards after party. Well, that night in the back of the China Club, a grape took place. And you were photographed being there. Now, I may not even know the person who graped. But the fact you're saying, if you were there and it happened and you didn't stop it, you're going to be liable, even though you didn't participate in it. That's aiding and abetting. Now, I can very well be like, I don't ever remember nobody getting raped, so I'm good. But that's not the way it works anymore. What they're going to say is, we could do a catch and kill type thing, wherein you pay me 100,000, 200,000 or whatever, 250,000, and then we'll act like it never happened. But if you don't, then, you could be in a lot of trouble. People that are in the middle of their careers and they go like, damn, I can't really, most of them probably drinking. I can't really remember what happened on that night. I know I was at a party. I know I was at home, the club home, and he said I was at home. So how much? And they're probably thinking, damn, how much information does he have on me? Does he have me on camera? Like chilling next to the guy or anything. But that's how they do it. And even though okay, I didn't participate in it, he's saying if you were in the facility, we're gonna expose you. Right? It don't sound right, but that's what he said. If I could go back to his original video, hold on. Hold on. Let me see if this is the one where he said it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tony Busby. I'm a lawyer here in Houston. I'm licensed in Texas and in New York, and I'll introduce other members of our team as they speak. As many of you know, our law firm has been at the forefront of some of the most important litigation in the United States. We like the tough cases. We thrive in the complicated cases. We've handled over the last 25 years some very big and very important cases. I believe that this one may surpass them all. There are many facets to this. The conduct we will describe today occurred over more than 20 years. There are many people and many entities involved. And we're going to follow this evidence wherever it takes us. We will find the silent accomplices. We will expose the enablers who enabled this conduct behind closed doors. We will pursue this matter no matter who the evidence.
See what it says? The silent accomplices
implicates. These brave victims who have stepped forward deserve nothing less. The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward. Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us with people claiming to have been victimized by Sean Combs. After vetting, we now
3,000
represent
people.
120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases. And you should know,
This guy's
to the extent
scumbag.
the clients feel comfortable, we also intend to make these individuals available to the authorities, specifically to the FBI. And you should also know a few of them have already been spoken to by the FBI. Now, before we discuss the nature of the claims and claimants themselves.
Okay, so basically, he went on to say, if you were at the party, you were a silent accomplice. Even if you didn't have anything to do with it, you still can be in trouble. And that's what the tactics he was using in these demand letters he was sending out. Right? Because there's no way I'm going to pay someone over something that happened and I had nothing to do with it. It's going to court. Right. But here's the thing, Mimi. You have to remember. You got to remember. A lot of these celebrities, right? They don't want, even if they didn't do it. Sometimes it's like, listen, I can't afford to have my name dragged, my reputation dragged through the mud for months and months and months. Right? I can't afford to have it. And then on top of that, God only knows if they come out with a video of me and Puff dancing at said party. Right? She probably thinking, what if they were talking about Lotus? I was at Lotus, but I had no idea that anybody got raped that night, but then she would have to prove it. Right? So instead of your name even being mixed up in it, trust me, a lot of celebrities say, I can't even afford to have my name mixed up in this. And they just pay to get out of it before the name is even mentioned. Now, it may seem silly to you, but we have to go on the notion of these people are worth millions of dollars and they got different brands. Yeah, we can afford to do it because we ain't really got nothing to lose, right? I mean, we got something to lose, but not like that. These people are employed by and got brand deals, $1 million brand deals, that if their brand sees that they're even mentioned in a lawsuit. You see what Jay-Z said? Even though Jay-Z fought and he said, I'm innocent, there was a couple of, even though the NFL stood behind him, there was a couple of people who pulled out. Pause. Right? There's a couple of people. He said he lost $20 million alone just on that frivolous lawsuit that fast. And it never even went to trial. But he said a couple of people that was dealing, that he's doing business with, you got some people online start trying to put pressure on him. Oh, you should cut ties. Jay-Z is being accused of being a PDF. And then they get harassed and they say, you know what? It's not even worth it. So we're going to cut ties with him. And he said he lost potentially $20 million because of those Busbys and the case got dismissed. So not everybody is willing to work with you. A lot of people fall to the pressure of social media. And our social media saying, oh, you cancel him. You should not work with him anymore. Look, he's got a case, blah, 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 blah. And then they feel pressured to do it. You know what I mean? So they say, you know what? I don't even want to be involved. I don't want my name mixed up in it. I'm just going to pay this dude what he wants. He can leave me alone. And I believe that's what he thought was going to happen here with Jay-Z. Right? Now, went through that. I'm trying to go through these things real quick. Right? So, now everybody knows that Jaguar Wright's in a lawsuit. But take a listen to what Jaguar Wright is saying. Take a look at what Jaguar is saying. So she still got people caping for her on the internet. Still got people caping for her, but I want to go into this. I'm using this in fair use. I believe this was AT2's podcast. I'm going to be interviewing AT2 on one of my lives, probably tomorrow or next weekend. So, next weekend he's going to be out of town.
I still don't know the relationship. Like I'm confused. Like, why is she even mentioning Dream Hampton?
So here's Jaguar Wright. As we all know, Jaguar got pulled into a lawsuit.
Incidences, and I'm lying. You know,
Jaguar Wright got pulled into a lawsuit where she is saying that she was locked up, so it's impossible for her to have been a part of that lawsuit. That is debunked. Kind of like how when Alex Spiro debunked Jay-Z being sued and being at that party, but everybody came up with excuses of, oh, she meant Thursday. Oh, she meant 2003, a different year. Oh, she meant 4 years later. So everybody was trying to find ways of why Jay was guilty. But now it happens to Jaguar, and she says, I was in jail. I was totally impossible for me to have done it. Yeah, and Jay-Z was at another location, and Benji Madden was not in the country. So, I mean, was not in the state. So totally impossible for him to do it as well. But what has happened now is Jaguar Wright has got named into a lawsuit. And what this does is put her in a catch-22. Because we all know what Jaguar Wright has been saying. We all know that she said she was on a Diddy tape. You know that she said she sends girls to Diddy parties and they're wearing cameras. Well, how are you getting those invites, Jackie? You can only get an invite to a Diddy party if you know them, right? Or know people who know them. So it puts her in a catch-22 because she's either going to have to admit that, yeah, she helped Diddy, or admit that she's been lying this whole time. Right? Right. She kept asking to be sued, didn't she? Well, say less. So here's the deal. Jaguar Wright, since she's come on, has said she is a Jay-Z, a Diddy whistleblower. She's also said, right? She's also said that she's been to Diddy parties, and she's on Diddy tapes. Right? So I'm using this under fair use. So this is for my girl, Danny Robinson. She is a cackle. If you're not following Danny Robinson, please, please subscribe to her channel because she is a key. All right, hold on. Make sure you subscribe to my channels first and foremost. So now let's show you why we're here. So Jaguar, you cannot really complain about putting you in lawsuits and putting you at the Diddy party. Because sis, this you? Hold on.
The quickest way from a billion points of data to a point of view.
What the kids say, this you?
In this interview, she makes bombshell statements about her past in the industry, hidden cameras, and direct ties to Diddy's parties. But as always, the question remains, is this truth, exaggeration, or yet another desperate attempt to remain relevant? Yeah, you know my opinion. She is an imposter. But let's break it down.
But that's a great thing. But on one of the clips I seen, I think on Facebook, you know, you were talking about you attended a couple of Diddy's parties.
Yeah.
You heard him?
Care to elaborate just a little bit if you can, or you want to go deep? Go deep. Shit.
I mean, honestly, I went to be nosy and I went to go make sure that my workers were working. I kept people in those parties.
Pause. That statement alone raises massive questions. If she had workers in those parties and she was checking in on them, what exactly was her role? The supervisor, recruiter, organizer? Jag, you said you had no business or no nothing ever with Diddy. Didn't you say that before? So what do you mean that you have workers? Sex workers, by the way, because that's what she has always been saying, that she sends sex workers to his parties. Let's not forget, she has openly admitted to being a dominatrix and a sex worker, or a PIMP. Now she's admitting to placing people inside these parties and monitoring them. Yet, when others summarize her statements, she suddenly backtracks and cries, "Misinterpretation! That's not what I said." If she was truly just watching over people, why the need for hidden cameras, right?
I still got people that go to Diddy parties. People keep forgetting I was a dominatrix. People keep forgetting I'm a sex worker. People keep forgetting I had my own book.
Then she dramatically showcases a watch, starting. That's not a watch, that's a camera. That's coming up next. This raises another major red flag. Why would a self-proclaimed dominatrix need hidden surveillance in these environments? If her claim is that she was simply checking on people, why is she collecting footage? The insinuation here is that she has compromising material, yet she conveniently never releases it. It's always in the storage somewhere all across the United States. It's hidden, it's here, it's there, it's everywhere. And she's never going to release it. But yeah, she claims to be a whistleblower, but not blowing any whistles, but blowing on DIC. Yes. Yeah.
Danny is a fool. So not blowing any whistles, just blowing on DICK. All right, so Jaguar Wright sat up there at Mar-a-Lago, Venalago, wherever the hell that place is that cheese doodle face president lives at, right? And Liz Crokin, which I call a Liz Cuckoo, she gave her award and said she's been a whistleblower with Diddy and Jay-Z and the industry. And she's been a whistleblower. So, like Danny Robinson said, if you're a whistleblower, right, you have to be around these people, or else how can you be a whistleblower? Now that she's in the lawsuit, she's saying, I ain't never had no contact with Diddy. I've never been involved with Diddy. But you said you go to his parties. What's up, Lori? You said you go to his parties. You said you sent women to his parties. But now you're trying to say, psych, I was just playing. Because you see now, you've been begging to be sued, and somebody said, say less, ho. Want to be sued? Okay. Right?
She even goes on to say, little hidden cameras like that, I'm going to be able to rig them up so I can go live. If this were true, why hasn't she done so? If she truly had damning evidence, why tease it rather than expose it? It seems more like a scare tactic than an actual revelation.
If you're living in Ontario without life insurance, ask yourself.
So, hold on. The point we're making is with Jaguar Wright. It's not to say that, yeah, she was involved in this trafficking. Me personally, like I said, somebody asked me that yesterday, and me personally, I would be a hypocrite if I sat up here and said, yeah, Jaguar Wright, I think she's guilty. I'm going to have fun watching her try to prove that she's not guilty. That's going to be fun because I know that she has been inserting herself in this stuff for the longest. And when you insert yourself in stuff, one of these days, it's going to come at you. That's like me going out to a gang rivalry or a gang affiliation meeting and going over there like I'm down with the gangs. Like, yeah. Well, sooner or later, sir, the police is going to roll up and then you go back, oh, no, I'm not down with the blood of the Crips. I'm just here. No, sir, you got on blue. And you over there in the audience about, yeah. So just come with me and explain everything downtown. That's what Jaguar's doing. That's what Jaguar's doing. I'm on the Diddy tapes. She's actually said she was on the Diddy tapes with Jay-Z. She said that Jay-Z came in and did her worse than Cassie, and then Diddy did Cassie. Every single time somebody's mentioned, Jaguar Wright has to insert herself and make what happened to her worse. She said what happened to Cassie was nothing. That happened to me, and it happened even worse. Every single person that comes up and says they were essayed or they were trafficked, Jaguar Wright has a way of replacing their name with her name. Right? So she's been exposed. You're either going to have to come out and say, I was lying the whole entire time. I admit it, I was lying. Anyway, there's another series. Before we close, this is another series, right? by yours truly. It's called How I Became Wifey. So she started back to reshooting these scenes. Shout out to Kiki Swinson.
Scene from the Playing Dirty TV series. And while I was just sitting here in my room,
Y'all gotta
I started
support your
thinking
boy, man.
the journey I went through to get here. If I had only known that my life was going to be like this, I wouldn't have believed it.
So Kiki Swinson, shout out to Kiki Swinson. She is an author. She sold over 2 million books. And she's also a former queen pin, right? She was like one of the queen pins of VA. She got with me and my brother, hired us to channel her series called Wifey. A lot of y'all have probably read her books, right? And so this is one of the first episodes. I'm going to show y'all really quickly so y'all can tap in. This is one of the first episodes. Shout out to my girl, Nicole, who's actually portraying Kiki when she was young.
I'm a chick from the hood, okay? I used to live a life of crime back when I was 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. I went to prison for 5 years. And here I am producing a TV series. I get letters and emails all the time. People are always asking me, Kiki, the books that you write, is that about you? Is that about your life? And I say, yeah, you know, some of them, because I don't really want them to know how my life really was. I was, like Rihanna said, I was a savage. I used to rob drug dealers. I used to traffic drugs. I used to get it. And I didn't care who I got it from. And now I can sit here and show you guys a glimpse of my life before I turned it around. This story I'm about to get into, when I think about it, it gives me the chills because I don't know how I walked away from that. I remember my homegirl calling me. She said, this cat I just met is trying to get rid of 9 ounces, and he's from New York.
Yeah, this is the son I was telling you about. You should be good.
You look nothing like Pedro said you did.
How do you say I'm supposed to look?
That's not important. So what you got for me?
I heard about you. Key.
See, people in the street knew how I rode.
Got some good shit. The crackheads out there, you're gonna love it.
So how much you want for it?
Give me back 9 grand.
Looked me up and down. I guess he was trying to size me up, but he just don't know I had already sized his ass up.
All right. There's a drought in P-Town right now. So if this shit is missile like you say it is, it'll be gone in 2 days.
No games, Kiki. Only when you're done.
Roger that.
After he gave me the drugs, I went to my homeboy's crib. Got with him, showed him the work. See, I've been knowing Alex for some time now. Like, we always getting it. You know, anytime I got work, I look out for him and vice versa. He did it for me. So it was a no-brainer to get him in on this.
Yo, the fiends in Lincoln Park are gonna go crazy when they smoke this shit.
Yup. You could tell by the way it looked that it smoked good. Sheesh.
That's why I'm cutting these 50 blocks smaller than I usually do.
Listen, when the fiends get that hit, that first hit, this shit, yo, the size ain't even gonna matter.
Yeah, my point exactly.
Yo, where you get this from?
The next nigga that's about to get got Because he's not getting shit from me.
Kiki about to get a shot out here.
It didn't take long for my homeboy and I to pack the dope up. We went out to the block. Yo, we had the crackheads out there lined up like it was Black Friday. We got rid of the drugs in less than 24 hours. I told homeboy that I was going to have it done for him in 2 days, but I got rid of it in 24 hours. That shit was just that good. My homeboy walked away with like $2,000. I had like 14. So I did a little shopping, stayed in a couple of nice hotel rooms, did my little thing. Ghetto, that's called ghetto hood rich. I was hood rich. So, money was starting to dwindle. So I knew it was time for me to get another package.
What's up, stranger?
Stress. Been looking for work.
What you looking for?
1, 2 ounces of hard white.
You might want to take a trip to New York.
I wasn't trying to make that trip. That's why I wanted something small.
How much you trying to spend?
$2,000.
Bitch.
Yo, let me tell you something. I did not see this nigga coming.
I've been looking for you for 2 weeks. Where is my money?
I got robbed.
Don't give me that bullshit.
Kiki,
Shut up.
money.
You think I'm playing with you? You think this is a game right now? All right, I'm asking you one more time, Kiki. Think hard. Where's my goddamn money at?
I don't have it.
Wrong answer.
She's got money. She got money in her purse.
It's like that? Play with me again. Play with me again.
Why the fuck did you tell him where the money was at?
Are you serious right now? That nigga had a gun pointed to your fucking head, and you gonna ask me why I told him where the money was? What, you got a death wish?
He wasn't gonna shoot me.
Bitch. Baby girl, you got some serious issues if you think that nigga weren't about to blow your fucking head off your shoulders.
Now I gotta go find another nigga to rob.
Thinking about it right now and looking back on my life, that guy could have shot me and I'd be dead. Like, I literally could have lost my life. But what's even crazy about it was that I didn't care. I was more focused on losing the money than losing my life. Who does that? Thank God for second chances and all the experiences I've had in my past. I'm going to continue to write about them in my book. Stay tuned, because I got to get back to the set. And until next time, keep your head up.
All right. So that was the first episode of How I Became Wifey. She has like 3 episodes now on Amazon, and we directed it. Me and my brother. Shout out to the director. Yeah. It's all good. Hope y'all enjoyed that. But I'm about to get up out of here, man. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been another installment of the Heaven Hollywood Experience. See y'all next time.